living on Alabama's Gulf Coast. Excited to bring you our weekly business spotlight. We're at Refine PT and Performance. We're going to meet with Tyler Vaughn today, co-owner of Refine and doctorate of physical therapy. Tyler's going to bring us inside the business and show us his operation. Let's go.
Now we're here with one of my good friends, Tyler Vaughn. Tell us a little bit about what got you into physical therapy.
So I played baseball in college and obviously had some arm injuries and things like that. And so I got exposed a little bit to PT on the front end through that. I was dead set on orthopedics initially. Started shadowing a physician at the time when I was at Troy, and actually found out that I had a little bit more in common with the physical therapist who was working with a lot of the athletes. And so I think I just decided that I wanted to be kind of on the front lines every day with a lot of the people that I was working with. And so kind of made the shift from orthopedics to orthopedic medicine to physical therapy. And then after school at Troy, I came down to South Alabama for PT, and then since then I've been down here.
That's awesome. Obviously, physical therapy is a great career. What made you decide to open up your own clinic?
Well, after school, I started working for a corporate company and just tried to get my feet wet within physical therapy. Actually, my business partner, Kyle, and I were in undergrad together at Troy, and so we had always kind of talked about how it'd be cool to own our own business one day. And so after about 1.5 to 2 years of working kind of out in the corporate world, I decided that I wanted to try to dig a little bit deeper and foster relationships a little bit more with people through going into like a one-on-one model is what we call it. So basically where we can treat one patient for the full hour, each hour with our team, so our whole staff. And so I started talking to Kyle about it, and he thought that it might be something that we could make work in this area. And so I kind of got to a point where I was like, okay, this might be the time to take the next step to do something on our own, that has our own brand and kind of its own identity where we could build our own culture. And that was really important to us, and so we made the move.
Yeah. Before we move on, let me just say the culture here is amazing. I tore my ACL, had some other ligament issues and a dislocated kneecap, and I did my rehab here, and they treated me like family. It was awesome. They got me back to where I should be, and obviously I still need to get a little bit stronger, but that's on me and not on them. But great guys and girls, and they really know what they're doing. Young people who have a devotion to research, and they get their clients. They really care about the clients and get them to where they need to be. So you mentioned culture. Tell me a little bit about what that culture is and what you built here at Refine.
So our two biggest things that we look for as far as for our culture and for hiring are clinicians who love people, who are motivated to love people, and people who are lifelong learners. And I think those two go hand in hand. And what we always tell our team is if we can hire somebody who is a lifelong learner and who is driven to love people, then they're going to be a great physical therapist. And so we've really committed to that. And I also know that we spend a lot of time at work. And so I really wanted this to be a community and more so a family versus just a working staff. And so we really spend time trying to connect with our team. And thankfully, we've been blessed to bring in some incredible people who have all really committed to that culture and that mission. And so we want people to basically leave here and say that that's the most seen and loved I've ever felt within healthcare. And that's kind of what we've built our team based around. And thankfully, so far, everybody has really bought into that, and it's just a fun place to work.
This is your chance to market your company a little bit. What would you say makes your company stand out from other PT clinics?
Well, first, I will say that I'm very biased, so take that as it comes. But no, our elevator pitch is that we are one-on-one for the hour with all of our patients. So when you come in, you get a full hour with a doctor of physical therapy. It's not that we don't believe in techs, aides, or assistants, but our model is just that we're going to have a doctor of physical therapy who greets you, a doctor of physical therapy that works with you, and they're going to work with you the entire 60-minute session, and that's our pledge to you. The other thing that we try to do is get the same patient with the same therapist each and every session, and the reason that we do that is we believe that responding to adversity through injury or through consistent or chronic pain, those things are multifactorial, and so developing a relationship with a physical therapist and someone who understands you and who can really be empathetic to what's going on actually has an effect on your outcome. And so you don't need to come in here and explain to me what's going on, and then the next session explain it to one of our other team members, and the next session do it again. We don't want to just be spinning tires. Like, we want to see where you are, meet you where you are, reevaluate every session, and move forward. And so that's kind of what we've built our model around.
That's awesome. So do you have any specialties within patient care?
Number one, we will treat anyone and everyone that has any kind of orthopedic conditions going on. But yeah, I would say for us, we're looking for the active individual who's wanting to get back to achieving something in life that they could achieve previously that they're having trouble with. That could be surgeries, that could be just generalized rehab if you're having pain that you didn't have before. All of those things would fit in perfectly. We're trying to get you moving and help you get back to things that allow you to enjoy your life more fully. Outside of that, I would say anybody who has failed rehab elsewhere, with our model, we just believe that we have the opportunity to really dig in with you and get to know you, and also just kind of pull together everything that is your health currently and where you're looking to go. And so I think a lot of what pain presents as, or I guess a lot of what goes into pain is multifactorial. And so for us to get an understanding of who you are as a person, to have the time to dig in with you, is very important for how you're going to benefit and move forward.
Yeah. From an outsider, they will get you right. They'll treat you right, and they'll get your body back to where it needs to be. And I'm speaking, like I said, as an outsider, but you'll have a little bit of fun doing it at the same time, or as much fun as you can while you're dealing with an injury.
Correct.
So what would you say to a young professional who wants to either be a PT or own their own clinic one day?
Yeah, I think the main thing with it is you have to understand that your work is going to be a major part of your life. And so I think you need to understand what your values are, what your driving forces are as far as what you're trying to accomplish. And whether that's working as a staff PT and just getting connected with the community and serving a patient population well, or whether that's taking the next step and moving into management, I think the thing that you need to really nail down is what drives you, what motivates you, and then find a way to allow that to improve your community. I think that's the biggest thing for me, and don't let anybody put that fire out. I truly believe that some of us are called to create, and so it's a reflection of our creator, and it gets me fired up, so you can tell in the way I talk about it.
Yeah.
But either way, like, our opportunity to serve through work is a good thing, and I believe in that. And so I would say, don't look at your job as an 8 to 5 or an 8 to 6. Like, let's try to go a little bit deeper and use it to serve people well.
And just a little side note, a little fun fact, this guy was a stud shortstop at Troy, 4-year starter.
A long time ago.
You think you can still hit 350?
It depends on how well the pitcher could hit my barrel.
That's awesome.
Rotator cuff's interesting a lot of times, like where you feel the pain is not where the problem is. So a lot of referred stuff. That same feeling, like what you just said, there it is. Like, that's what you need to be trying to find in your warm-ups. And once you find it, hang on to it, and then everything you do as you open up to go, everything finishes with that same feeling.
Wow, I'm inspired. Tyler and his team here at Refine PT and Performance are nothing but top notch. And they're located right here in Daphne off of Pollard Road. Don't worry, they have other locations as well. They're in Midtown and Mobile, Dothan, Alabama, and Decatur. Hey, thanks for watching this week's Living on Alabama's Gulf Coast Business Spotlight. Keep following along as we keep interviewing entrepreneurs along Alabama's Gulf Coast.